Today I'm making something with oysters. Now, as you may know, oysters are to be eaten in months that have R in them. So at this time of year, starting usually in November and at least through January, my little general store in Charlemont has a little sign frequently that says, "We have fresh oysters today." And even though they're very expensive, I love to buy them. We'll talk a little bit more about oysters in a minute, but first I'm going to start this recipe. I'm making scalloped oysters. I know it's the new year and we're supposed to be eating healthily, but every once in a while you need something a little bit decadent, and that's this. So I have melted some butter and I've crumbled some saltine crackers into little crumbs, and I'm combining those two things. That is what a lot of this is about. And what you're going to get is the salt and the butter, and then of course the flavor of the oysters. Now, the oysters that I get at my little store aren't too big, but if you get them someplace where they're very large, you may want to cut them up a little bit for this recipe so you have bite-sized pieces. Okay, that is done. Now, I'm having the recipe and I'm not 100% sure how much it's going to make. So I have two little dishes. I'm going to start with this little dish. You put a third of your cracker crumb mixture in a buttered dish. I'll push it forward so you can see it. I think this is going to work. I think we'll just use this little dish. This will serve 2 people because it's so rich. I think that's fine. Then I take half of my oysters. By the way, I washed my oysters off, but I kept. This is called the oyster liqueur. This is the juice. It's kind of cloudy, liquid, watery looking stuff. That's what they're packed in, and we want to use that. So we're not going to use all of it, but I always keep it all just in case I need it. Whoops, I'm losing my oysters. My fingers are immaculately clean. You'll be happy to hear. So while I'm doing this, I'll tell you about oysters. Oysters used to be so common that the poorest of people could eat tons of oysters. And then we did what Americans tend to do, and that is we overfished them. So there were not so many oysters, and we also polluted the waters in which they lived. So the oysters that were left were kind of sad, sick oysters. Now we are redoing all of that, and in fact, New York Harbor, where there were all these oysters that you couldn't eat, is now being reseeded to have better oysters. Okay, back to the recipe. When I've done that, I take some of the oyster liquor, and I take a little bit of cream. Yeah, I know, you need both butter and cream for this recipe. Less cream than oyster liquor. And then some salt and pepper. There. Then we're going to do another layer of crackers. Another layer of oysters and the stuff, the liquid. And then we're going to finish with the crackers. There we go. So let me throw these babies on. They're just going to fit in this little dish. And my sister-in-law and I are going to love eating them. Sorry that we can't share. Come on guys. Just going to make it in this cute, it is an adorable dish. Okay. Liquid. Cream. Salt and pepper, and then I'm going to finish with crackers, and I'll be back to show you the final product after it bakes in a 425 oven, by the way. See you soon. So my oysters came out of the oven. Look at the butter made them with this gorgeous, gorgeous brown. In fact, if they'd been in the oven too much longer, I would be in trouble, but they're perfect. And when you smell them, oh, they smell like butter and oysters. Oysters have, well, you'll find out when you make the recipe, a very specific and a very delicious smell. So I was just going to add to this that many people think that the whole oysters, eating them in the months that have R in them, is an old wives' tale. And it probably is, but you know, a lot of old wives' tales are true. It's better for the oysters because in the summer months when it's warmer, they tend to want to make more oysters. So you want to leave them alone. And it's better for us because in the summer months they can be a little bit less perfect to eat. They don't taste quite as good. So enjoy. I'm looking forward to eating this. Wish I could share it with you. Bye.